Hello, I'm Mark,
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
and today we're going to talk a little bit about traveling to the Arctic Circle. But first, Casey's going to roll that title card for us.
They said they want to charge him how much?
You're watching the Tesla Life Express.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. Have an interesting article that we came across during the week on our X feed at the Tesla Life, if you're not already following us there. But this was a story about a Shaun Robertson who had decided that he was going to take a trip to the Arctic Ocean and travel part of the same path that was first pioneered in an EV, actually a couple of Cybertrucks, by Tesla Tino and Bearded Tesla. And third person was Mark, and I'm blanking on his last name. Mark was with them as well. And of course, Tesla Tino's wife was with them also. But they traveled all the way up from British Columbia. Actually, well, they started in the US and then headed up through BC and went all the way to Yukon and ended up at the Arctic Circle there, where the road had led them. And along the way, they were donating some chargers, some L2 chargers that they lined up with businesses that have the availability to power those up and were willing to host and be someone that would maintain and look after the charger. They got those chargers listed on PlugShare. And what was really cool was that this latest Arctic Circle run, Arctic Ocean run, was made by Shaun Robertson, and he actually was able to use a few of those donated chargers along the route. Now, Shaun did go a different direction. He started from lower BC, the mainland, Vancouver, and he caught a ferry that went up the BC coast. So he took out a lot of the British Columbia highway driving, but joined the network again up at northern BC and was back on the road and then followed the same path up to the Arctic Circle. And we have a link below which details his particular run to the Arctic Ocean and along the Dempster Highway and such. And he has it laid out with the table of contents in his ad or his article that you can go through the details of his actual run all the way up there. And got a great amount of photos of some spectacular scenery that he was showing, not just of EVs, but of course, being able to see the beautiful mountain ranges and trees and rivers and forests along the way as he went through British Columbia, the Yukon, and ultimately up to the very top of the world there, where the road ends on the actual Arctic Ocean. So very interesting read. But just wanted to touch on a few things that he mentioned through the article. One was he made a list of things that he brought, and then he talked about things that he overlooked and didn't bring. And one thing that if you're traveling up that far north, he suggests that you bring a couple of tires with you. Not just a spare one, just one, or he says bring another rim, another tire on that rim that's mounted, and bring another tire with you. Because he ran into the situation when he was getting close to the Arctic Circle that the roads are made out of crushed rock, but some of that rock is quite sharp. And in the case where he was, he got one of his tires got jammed for some reason as he was driving in a little bit of a culvert on the side. So the rock had spread apart a little bit, and his tire went down in it and popped the tire. And he did it a couple times, and was in a situation where he had to get to one of these small towns, and of course they didn't have the tire that he wanted or needed. they had to. They were going to have to order one in, which would, of course, added 5 days to the journey to get that tire shipped up that way. So he ended up taking a tire that would work. It just didn't match his other 3 tires. So there was a situation where he was maybe limited in the speed he would drive, but he was able to keep moving. Got to the next stop, got another tire, and had them supply him a 3rd tire that he kept with him just for the journey back. So tires are something that he didn't, I guess, plan completely, that this could be a maintenance issue.
Yeah. And they're expensive too.
The photos on his website are really cool. I definitely recommend checking it out. There's some great stuff on here. So I just tried to. He doesn't have a map of where he went, or at least I haven't found it yet. And so I thought, I'll just throw Haines, Alaska, where he started after he got off the ferry, to his end destination, which I won't even try to pronounce. But Google Maps is telling me, sorry, your search appears to be outside of our current coverage area for transit. So I'm not sure how we got to Inuvik, but that's
Not on
funny.
Google.
That's,
He wasn't using Google Maps then, obviously.
That is funny. So I haven't talked about this in a while, but in 2001, I went to Alaska for my first sabbatical. And so we took the same ferry from, I think it was Bellevue, Washington to Haines, Alaska. So it goes through the Inside Passage, stopping at various spots, Juneau, and I can't even remember. It's 24 years ago. But Sitka and what were some of the other ones? We went by... anyway, yeah. So it was. This was before I was into EVs, so it was with a gas car. We took the ferry. We took our car on the ferry, and you had to pay by the foot, and we were pulling a camper. So it was. It cost more for the car than it did for our cabin. And yeah, it was great though. The first night heading up, we actually got to see the Northern Lights. So on the ferry. That was pretty cool. They don't normally come down that low, but they did that night.
Are you seeing the photo sharing right now on the
Yes.
screen? So similar, does that look like the bunk that you were in?
Yes. Yep, that does, yeah. Go ahead and blow those up. They're kind of small on the share. If you can. But that's all right.
But again,
great photos.
Amazing views. Amazing. Yeah. Sitting at the base of a glacier, like just remarkable. And he did meet some EVs along the way. There was there was a Nissan Leaf that he bumped into. He also bumped into near the top. He bumped into a Rivian that was traveling the same route. And actually, they coordinated so that they would not be trying to get to the same L2 chargers and hold each other up.
That's
right. When you're charging at L2, it's hours. So yeah, that can slow you down a bit. If there's only one and there's a line. Yeah, going into the Yukon. Yeah, I did that. So we took the ferry up and then drove back, and we went through the Yukon too.
Neat.
What an amazing journey that would be, certainly. And what's nice is that this is a flow charger. This is a DC fast that Flow has a good reputation of being reliable units here in Canada. It's a Canadian company based out of Quebec, but they're Canada wide, and it's great to see those chargers in the Yukon as well. So, it's nice to hear about a company that has a good reputation for reliability. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
Here's a shot of his trouble as he was found out that that tire was shredded on the side and was going to have to be replaced.
So do they just buy bulk gravel, or do they say, hey, we need this gravel for a road? Can you run it through a crusher?
Well, I'm sure they do some some crushing of it, but I'm sure it's not to the same specifications as the Lower Mainland, because
Yeah.
they're probably sourcing the rock locally from the,
Ah.
what they call the Canadian Shield, which would be it's a rocky, they're pulling it out of the mountains on the side of the roads. Like I am sure, and maybe they do not have the crushing ability to get it as fine as they want or would be useful.
Yeah.
And remember, a lot of these roads are just being used by the truck that's in the background of this photo. 18 wheelers that are just cruising up and down these roads with much larger tires, and maybe
Either
are
have a little
not
more-
affected as much as a passenger car tire.
A little more durability and a little bit better budgetary
Right. And they
backing.
only
to
have a
replace them.
few months in the summer when they can do road maintenance. So
That's true.
they're getting whatever they can get to get it done then, because once the weather turns, you're not going to be out there doing road repair.
Exactly.
You'll be clearing snow instead.
But he did indicate that it's a great story to read. Certainly, the link will be there for you to do that. But it was interesting about his charging abilities and non-abilities. There was at one point where he thought with his PlugShare app that he would be able to charge. I'm not sure if it was Dawson City or Eagle Plains where he had the issue where a particular owner of a L2 charger, which was listed on PlugShare, had indicated that no, you can't charge here. And he was like, "Well, why?
Well,
Why
yeah,
can't
it's on PlugShare.
Yeah.
That means you're willing to share your plug. Come on.
It's a share.
And he got the story from this particular stop that this guy was not making any money on the charger. It was costing him money. And it was like, okay, how does that work? If you've got it listed and you're willing to charge for it, why aren't you making the money that you're asking for? Are you saying that someone's showing up in the middle of the night and plugging into your unit and not paying you? If that's the case, then it's a thing called a breaker. You turn it off, and that's it. And
delist it.
Yeah, exactly. Why is it listed if you're having these issues and you don't want to do it? Luckily for him, there were two other chargers in town, so he was able to switch his plans and get to another charger. But
the skating review I would leave on PlugShare for that jerk.
Right. So tell us how much he tried to charge him, Mark.
Yeah, the article says $100 he wanted to charge him, and it was like, really? That seems like highway robbery.
Yeah, so he didn't say you can't use it. He just said you got to pay me a crazy amount. I'll give you $2 of electricity for $100.
Yeah, up to $10 of electricity for $100, so 90% markup.
Yeah. Oh, is that all?
Yeah. So I had asked if perhaps he was generating his own electricity on site with diesel or something, and it really did cost him that much, or like.
Well, this was in a town, so I gotta believe
they'd have infrastructure.
That he's pulling from the local electricity grid. Now, it may be 50 cents a kilowatt in that area. That's possible. So it's not like an 8 cents type scenario, but
this is artisanal electricity.
It was disappointing to hear that this person was trying to charge that much, and even at that point said, "No, just don't even charge."
Yeah.
So, or was it down the street? He says this was. He did not end up staying at the Arctic Char Suites. He stayed at Capital Suites down the street as they were full, but they did let me charge there for $100, a steep price. But electricity in the north is not cheap. It was a bit of a runaround to ensure that chargers were turned on, but he did call ahead, and they did get it sorted out when he was there. Mm-hmm. So that's where the $100 came from. That's where he ultimately got to charge in that town. But as mentioned, the previous attempt, the person told him, "No, you can't charge her," even though it was listed. So.
At my family's place, we charge. They charge for charging if you don't stay the night at their facility.
Yeah,
which is fair, but it's not $100. Right. I think it's like $10. just enough to cover it, and kind of just
Well, again,
free.
charging prices could be based on.
They could be.
It's not cheap in the Arctic.
Yeah.
Nothing's cheap in the Arctic. Nothing. Food,
Right.
fuel, in this case, electricity, parts, everything is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for that $100, he was able to charge for 4 hours and 50 minutes. It got him a distance of 365 kilometers. Wow, that's spendy. I want to be able to. I want to hook up a bike, stationary bike, to a L2 charger, and you can just pedal charge as much as you want.
Right.
Put that on PlugShare. See how many people use it.
And only charge $70 and make a great tidy profit. Yes.
You can get a couple of them.
Bike, get all your passengers to pedal. Little hamster wheel for your pets.
I got a little rate preview from my power company, and on peak is going to stay the same price, and then super off peak is less than half price, and super on peak is more than double. So.
You have a super on peak. Wow.
Yeah. So I will be I'll be teaching the Tesla when it's allowed to drink it from the fire hose.
Yeah, you don't want to have that. That's a huge difference.
It is.
Yeah, you can end up paying 4 times more if you charge at the wrong time.
That's
one's
right.
half, one's double, right? So, yeah.
Exactly. And then the because it's got the 72 amp charger, I can go ahead and let it start at the beginning at 0% if I ever felt comfortable parking it like that, and then it would be more than it'd be full, capably more than full by the time like if it was in the middle of winter or something, or the heat of summer, I could use that for conditioning before the end of the window and be full.
Another tip that Shaun had made in this article, which I would have never thought of, was to tape up with some painter's tape your charge port hole.
So it doesn't get full of dust.
As you're driving, it's kicking up dust and it's building with the aerodynamics of the car. It spins back on the back of the car. Well, apparently, if your charge port, even your charge port flap is closed, inside that dust is still circling. It's starting to get into the hole of the charge port and starts to clog it up. So his tip was to take a couple of thick pieces of painter's tape and just tape right over the hole. So when you get to a charger, peel it back, and you've got a hole that's not plugged up with dust.
That's smart.
So that's the problem they had on the original S, and then it went away for a few years and came back with the Model 3. Because on the S, they had the magnetic closure. They didn't really have that much of a sealing going on inside there. And then with the motorized charge port, in order to make it close smoothly, the little pad in there became more of a plug, and it was kind of fluffy. And then with the 3, they have nothing, because over in Europe you got your 2 DC lugs on the CCS are just hanging out, and in the States our NACS is a little bit more robust than that, and so it's just hanging out there. No, you might have a little ring around the outside of it, but that's not much of a seal. So taping it up is probably a really good idea.
Yeah, especially if you're putting hundreds of kilometers on gravel roads, that's going to be a lot of dust.
Yeah. The connection is dust proof, but I imagine you might have to scoop it out a little bit there. It's like run a hose on it or a vacuum or something to get started without it. Oof.
Here's a shot from the charger at Eagle Plains, Yukon, and in the shot is one of those donated L2 chargers, and you can tell it's from Bearded Teslatino's group, because they put a sticker on it indicating the journey that they had. And they had commented on this story and said it's very cool to see another sticker on it, which wasn't theirs. So they had asked people to make your own sticker that you're on this journey, and stick it onto the L2 charger. Let people know that you were there. So they asked people to continue to do that. Make your own sticker if you're going to the Yukon, and along the way, mark your spot.
Nice. What is that, a 4Runner? That doesn't look like a Rivian to me.
Looks like a 4Runner. Yeah.
Oh,
ruining that picture.
Sorry.
It's the
the
ice out of there.
the Hilux for Thailand finally came out. I thought it was out years ago because we discussed it on a story, and then they're like, it's live. I'm like, what do you mean it's live? It's been out for a while. And it has not. Wow.
The only ice I want to see in these photos is a glacier.
There you go.
Right. Yeah. Permafrost.
Yeah. So that's a very cool story. Read it. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah.
Would you ever take a trip to the Arctic Circle? Would that make sense? Would that be something you'd like to add to your bucket list? And I noticed that nobody's taking this trip in the middle of the winter, which makes a lot of sense. If you think it's tough getting there in the summer, I cannot imagine what it would be like in January. But it certainly makes sense that you want to do it in nicer weather.
Yeah, it sounds like fun, like an adventure of a lifetime. Not one that's particularly appealing to me, but yeah, I mean, if you like blazing a trail, I think that would be, there are very few opportunities to do this left in the modern world on this planet. So, and without like a dive suit or a space suit or as yourself, maybe a jacket or 3.
Yeah. And of course, if you're in North America, the roads are there. They're all connected. You can do it. It's available to anyone to do it, but it's
maybe
not like
Google Maps isn't the right tool. Though.
Maybe not. But
bring a couple extra tires.
There are other maps available. So
exactly.
Yeah. So it would be interesting to do that for sure. But with that said, any shout outs from you, Patrick?
As always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net, where I write about my future free from fossil fuels.
Very good. And Casey, with his co-host, what do you got for us?
Well, definitely turn on your bell and catch us on these express shows as they come out. And the bell lets you know if we're doing any extras besides the 2 that we normally do. And then if you wouldn't mind catching me over at Casey Green on X and YouTube, same, for Let's Chat with Casey and Friends on Sundays at about 1:20 Eastern, where this one and I, we have a discussion about the news. Well, I don't discuss with her about the news, but with you guys and her attending, we discuss the latest in the news and savings and recalls in the electrified world and making your own electricity and saving money type stuff.
That's
kind of
right.
fun.
Well, she started to talk when you said money, so
yeah,
you like money?
Look out!
I like money.
You like money?
Very good. Well, join us next time when together we'll find out what's happening in the Tesla life. See you, everybody.
Bye-bye.